guys, you have the Game Flames today, and we are going to show you how to play Jungleball, which is a really cute game by Orto Games. It is for 2 players, 15 to 20 minutes, so it is fast, furious, and easy.
And what I like about 2-player games is many games are designed for the 3, 4, and 5-player demographics, so finding a 2-player game that is as solid as this one isn't always the easiest thing to do, so definite props for me on that one.
And the rules are really simple. We basically have this already set up. We just need to get our cards ready. Basically, we have big rock, little rock, big tree, little bush.
The fun thing is there is no set way to place the terrain. You actually get to, as part of your as part of the initial setup, put it wherever you happen to want it.
And you just have to make sure, if you see this line that goes all the way through our imaginary gym here, this is my side, this is his side. We are going to play dodgeball with our animal cards, and once these are set and we start the game, these cannot move again. If one of these dodgeballs knocks over an object onto a player, that player is effectively knocked out. We also both start with one of these dodgeball tokens. They are red on one side, they are a triangle on the other side, or as I like to call, the nacho. Nacho is worth a 2-point hit, red side is worth a 1-point hit.
So the terrain is going to be movable during our initial setup, but it's not going to mean anything without our actual players. So here's the deck of players. There are 21 in here, and a little bit better. We'll get into some of these in just a second, but we're actually going to clear the board really quick because you don't actually play with all of the characters. I'm going to shuffle these really quick. We are going to place 10 of them face up, and we're going to draft 4 each of those remaining. So one of the neat little things is there's never this min-max optimizing of your team. It's just making the best of who is available at the time for your Jungleball game. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
And if you notice the numbers up at the top here, those are your hit points. So if you get hit with 1 ball and you have 1 point, you're out. If you get the nacho side and you have 2 points, then that character would also be knocked out. Otherwise, he would need 2 red balls on top of him.
The nacho is worth 2 points, that's right.
How do we decide who drafts first?
Well, the rules say that whoever has the tree, that would be me, in this case gets to draft first. So I'm not going to put a lot of strategy into this. I believe I'm going to just immediately choose whatever comes to mind, and the fact that he's got a less traditional name, I'm going to draft Dr. Heat to my side. He appears to be a 3-toed sloth with 2 hit points, and his ability is to force any character to rest.
And if you notice at the bottom under their name, each player has a unique ability, so that makes the game a lot more interesting. I'm going to go for Bongo.
So Hammer has an interesting ability. I don't think it's going to come into much use. Oh, I'm already strategizing when I shouldn't be. Okay, I'm going to go Bird. Chloe.
Okay, to be fair, nothing is wrong with strategizing if you want to. We're just trying not to take an hour to set up.
Okay, so now our draft pool is down to 7.
I am going to go with Alexi because I think he is a fine little tiger.
Okay, well, keeping with my bird theme, I'm going to go with Rosemary. This may or may not come back to haunt me.
I'm going to give Martha a try.
I appreciate you letting me stick with my bird theme, so I'm going to go with Yasmin, and that will complete my team.
Oh, only 4, okay.
Only 4.
Okay, now I feel like there's such a pressure here to pick. Okay, I'm gonna take Hammer, maybe. I'm just gonna slide Hammer.
Okay, so I'm sorry, Perry and Slippy, you will not be in this particular match, but that's okay. So I'm going to reset up everything here to make sure we're all set up. I do actually really like the idea that it kind of has that backyard dodgeball thing going, whereas, you know, terrain serves as boundaries and it's not this, you know, clear-cut square court anymore. And you get to place your 4 characters anywhere on the field that you want. So mine are probably going to start at least somewhat in hiding or further back.
Also, with the special moves, there are a bunch of icons. We have a red circle to represent dodgeball. If there's a number in the red circle, it means that's how many balls they're talking about. If you have the little triangle in the red circle, that means you have the critical hit, which is what I call the nacho. And then there's the little yellow animal cat face. That means any player on the field. And of course you have 6 dodgeballs in the middle, 3 on each side. If you run out on your side, can you take from my side? Is the middle fair game, or is it divided evenly?
So we both start with 1. The middle is the just grab it area. So the rule for who gets to go first is whoever has the most 1s on their side, because they're the most fragile. If you ever find yourself tied with your opponent for who has the most 1s, it then goes to whoever has the tree on their side.
So we both start with 1 dodgeball. We have 6 in the middle. To get a dodgeball, a player has to move and touch the center ring here. Balls are fair game on any side, but you're only allowed to move 1 player per turn. So you can only activate 1 player, but they can move anywhere, but only 1 player can move.
Okay, so since I have the most 1 characters, I will be going first. So the first thing I'm going to do is select a character. I think in this case I'm going to choose my man Dr. Heat here. So to start the turn, you move your character. So you can move them back, make them harder to hit. You can try and get them behind cover, or in most cases, at least at the start of the game, you probably want to start getting them closer to the center so you can try and get a few extra dodgeballs to add to your dodgeball bank. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to move Dr. Heat up here. Now again, I can move him anywhere on the board, but at the moment I've only got 1 dodgeball to throw. So I'm going to have him, he's just barely touching the center, and I'm going to take 1 of the balls from here.
And you are only allowed to take 1 per turn.
Yep, only 1 per turn, unless there's some ability that says otherwise.
Okay, so Dr. Heat's ability is force any character to rest. Are you going to utilize that?
Yes, I'm going to make your friend Hammer over there resting. So he will then turn 90 degrees, and that shows that he is now resting. Characters are either spry or resting.
And resting means they cannot be the one to be active next turn.
Correct. To prevent you from using 1 superstar to do everything, there is no Michael Jordan of Jungleball. The rules say that basically you have to cycle through your entire roster, and once everyone goes to rest, then they all go back to spry. Now this is where the dexterity portion of this game comes into play, and this is going to be the great equalizer. So my hands need to be within 1 inch, either to the sides, above, or back from the active character.
You can throw it any way you want, but it has to land on the card in some way. And stay on the card, I should say. It can roll on the card even.
Let's give this a little try. Okay, so that both landed in the center, so it's going to stay there in the center. So now that Dr. Heat has thrown 1, I need to move to my other characters to get them to throw. Same rules, either to the sides, back, or above, but and I missed. So now Dr. Heat turns 90 degrees, showing that he is resting and vulnerable, and it goes over to my darling's turn.
I had Hammer strategize there for a reason, and you put him to bed there. We're gonna move Alexei around to grab a dodgeball. Now that this one hit in the center, it cannot leave the center until somebody takes it out, and I can only take out 1 at a time. So.
Oh!
Did it? Is that touching?
Yep.
Oh. Okay.
So that is a 2-pointer on Chloe.
They can almost like shuffleboard off too. You can hit a token off. And do I still throw from Alexi, or do I change?
Nope. You'll be changing over to Martha, then to Bongo. Now, well, I'm sorry, over to Martha, you can move back to Alexi, but you can't do 2 people in a row.
Dang.
Unless they're your only active character.
Let's give Bongo a try. Oh, I still got a point. Okay, so Hammer is no longer in rest, correct?
No, Alexi goes into rest.
Okay. Hammer does not wake up?
Nope.
Oh.
It's that again, that's how they're gonna make you cycle through your characters.
Okay.
That way you don't have you don't have the Michael Jordan of Jungleball who does everything. This token is gonna stay on Dr. Heat, and this one will stay on Chloe. Since Chloe is now I'm not gonna say hurt, but definitely
she's in danger.
So we're gonna move Chloe over here. So I'm in the precarious position of the dodgeballs that are on my side of the court are on my characters essentially as hits. So I won't be throwing any this turn, but the rule does say that if you have any, you have to throw at least 1. I just don't have any right now. So I'm going to put Chloe into the resting position, but Chloe's ability says when Chloe rests, I take 1 from the center. So that will hopefully set me up for next turn.
All right, I am being forced to make Martha jiggle her way over to grab a ball. And then I have to go from where Martha is. Within
1 inch from Martha.
Within 1 inch from Martha.
My terrain! And the dodgeball's off the court. Okay, so the terrain didn't fall over, so Rosemary's okay. It then goes into my supply, since it was thrown but did not end up on a character, or...
Martha is resting.
Martha is now resting. Since it didn't end up on a character or in the circle, it goes to me. I am going to shuffle Yasmin just barely inside, so tiny little move. My ability is then to move any character. I am going to bring Bongo up here, and hopefully I'm creating a nice, big, easily accessible pile upon which I can throw dodgeballs and hit something. So within 1 inch of Yasmin without going too far forward. No! And then over from Rosemary, not in front. Ah! Yasmin goes into rest. Those go into your pile, and Bongo is your only character that you can activate.
Is he still active since he moved?
Yes, because I'm going to say it's your turn now. I moved him as part of my ability.
So I'm going to hide Bongo back here, and I'm going to start my desperate attempt at throwing.
Within 1 inch from Bongo,
oh,
remember.
Darn it.
You see, that's the positioning part of all this.
Dang.
Since Bongo is your only active character, all of her balls had to be thrown from Bongo. So these go over here. Back to me. Rosemary is my only active character. Oh, she's only got that tiny little 1. She's so fragile. On the other hand, her ability is going to come in quite useful. I'm going to go for machine gun style. So Rosemary is going to fly up front and just barely be touching this without going over the line. I think it's going to be very close. Rosemary's ability says to remove 1 nacho from any other creature and return the ball to the center. So Chloe's okay now. That's in the center. She's touching the center, so she gets to grab a ball. Rosemary is my only active character, so she will be throwing all 3 of my jungle balls, dodgeballs, jungle dodgeballs.
I think they're dodgeballs for Jungle Ball.
Mm-hmm. How? How? I don't even know how I did that.
We'll let you rethrow that one. That was.
I'm a strategy game player, not a dexterity game player. I believe the rules state that it can land on my character, but my darling is very understanding and wonderful, and everyone should be lucky enough to have somebody like that in their lives. Okay, so Alexi now has 1 hit point. Rosemary goes into tapped mode, but however, now that all my characters are now in the resting position, they all move back to spry.
Mine didn't get to do that until the next turn.
Okay, now you get to ready up all your characters.
So everybody is back to spry mode. And I had these 2 previously touching, so I'm going to activate Alexi. Gonna take this ball.
So remember, you got to be within 1 inch of your active character.
This is the hardest part to remember.
Not ahead of them.
Not ahead?
Mm-hmm.
I'm behind. Dang it. Oh, am I touching? Okay, so I knocked 1 out.
As long as you don't knock that one. Okay, so interestingly enough, this is both on Dr. Heat and in the center, so I'm going to say that probably goes to the center. Dr. Heat has now been retired, so he will go back to the Jungle Ball deck to be drafted again some other day. All my characters on my turn will now ready up. I believe Rosemary was just barely there. Yes, it's over here, and Chloe's back here. Since I'm not going to end your turn touching and 3 is enough for me, I'm going to move you back here, back to safety. And now I'm going to need to throw 3 balls. We'll start with 1 from Rosemary. We'll go from over here instead. Okay, 1 from Yasmin.
Oh, close.
And back to Rosemary. 3 balls over to your side. Excuse me, Rosemary goes resting. You did not, by the way, you forgot to rest your character.
You're right. You're right. Although it didn't make a difference, he couldn't move anyways. I'm gonna scooch Martha up to the center here, grab a ball. Dang.
Okay, that's from Martha. So next one's from either Hammer or Bongo. Nope, Alexi's resting.
Oh, okay, so he can't do anything worth anything. Dang. This is so much harder. Oh, is she
nice
at 1
shot.
point?
And she is.
Oh, okay. So I got...
And you've still got one more throw.
Oh, you're right. I can go back to Martha, yes.
Yep.
Dang. All right, Martha's gonna take her nap.
Yasmin is also out. And that means that Chloe is my only remaining character. Okay, so once again, we're gonna have to machine gun this. So Chloe will go all the way forward, touch here, and just barely try to not cross the center line.
All right, you got 5 dodgeballs. What can you do?
Let's find out.
They're right there. 3 inches away. Oh, I'm rooting for you.
Literally in between them.
Oh!
I did get the nacho though.
Maybe you can shuffleboard it over to Hammer.
Let's see if I can knock out Alexi. Oh! Just
It is.
just
It is
barely.
just barely touching. So you got 2 of
and
my guys.
When Chloe goes to rest, I take 1 from the center, but Chloe is now very exposed.
So I'm just gonna rush Hammer up here. Take this last ball. I now have 7 of these.
Okay, for those wondering, yes, there are 2 backup dodgeballs that come in the box. Whoa! And remember, you're gonna have to alternate between Hammer and Bongo.
I know.
That's
Oh.
1 from Hammer.
Oh!
That's gonna be a knockout unless you shuffleboard it.
Oh! Did I? Nope.
Nope. This is gonna be close though. Almost
Stupid
knocked the
bush.
shrub onto her.
Ah!
These go to my side. Chloe is knocked out. Okay, Rosemary, it's all up to you.
You have enough balls. You could technically take all my characters out if you throw them well.
We know that's not going to happen. Again, we're going to have to do this the hard way, so give myself the best chance.
Needs to be spry.
Spray! So, since that was my only character left as resting, we'll go forward.
Now, there's nothing that forced you to go to the center, just to clarify, because there's no dodgeballs left to grab. That's just purely a strategic for throwing
This is
purposes.
me. We'll see if we can muster this. That was unexpected.
That was beautiful.
I'm actually kind of impressed by that. Okay, and remember it's got to be blank side up, even if you flip it though. Okay, I should be going for Hammer and not Bongo. Poor Rosemary. The team is depending on her, but she's only a tiny bird. And that's off the table!
You did diligently. 1 landed in the center, so it will stay in the center, but Hammer is now knocked out. I only have Bongo left, so I'm gonna move Bongo.
Let's see, am I a Larakeet?
Up to the center. I think you're just like a little thrash kind of bird.
I've got the little cheeky things though, and
You're
thank you.
sleeping.
I should be resting.
And
Within 1 inch of Bongo.
and that's game.
That is game.
Good game, honey.
Unless you're going to shuffleboard the rest of those. Personally, again, especially as games that are available for only 2 players and being optimized for 2 players, I personally think this game is absolutely amazing. It does require a good amount of dexterity, so you do need to have a certain penchant for that. I think little kids especially would love this game.
Yeah, that's what I like. You can play this as like an 80-year-old, or you can play this as a 5-year-old, really. Anyways, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, whatever you feel like doing. It is always appreciated. You have been watching the Game Flames on the Fanily channel, and we will see you next time.
Thanks for watching.
If you had fun watching today's video, don't forget to subscribe so that you can see more, and let us know in the comments what other videos you might want to see in the future. Also, don't forget to check out our other channel, The Fangirl, where we talk about all kinds of movies, TV shows, and even books and comics. But viewer discretion is advised. See you next time, Fanily members!